Hi everyone, this short video today to show you how deployment automation can execute Canary deployments. So first of all, in my deployment automation environment, I have two different resources mapped to the same agent, to the same deployment automation agent. If I have a look on the configuration for each resources, let's have a look on the properties. So I created two different properties. The first one called my resource, and the value could be active or inactive. And the next one is path, just to specify the target folder for the deployment of my applications. So this resources called IIS server 1 is now inactive, and the other resource, let's have a look. My resource is active, and for sure I have a different path for this specific resource. So to address Canary deployment, I have to create dynamic groups. So let's go now in the groups tab here. And you can create your own resource groups. So to create a new resource group, just use this create resource group button, but I will use one I already created. So I will use this one. So let's have a look on the configuration for this dynamic group. So the most important is about the conditions. So in this group of resources, deployment automation will associate automatically all resources having the property name myResource set to active. So this is the condition to have resources in this group. So if we have a look, automatically I have only one, I have server 2, because this is the only resource having this condition, my resource equals active. So it's quite easy to set up. Now I have to associate this group of resources to a specific environment. So go to environment, and I would like to associate it to the integration environment. So let's open integration, and let's have a look on resources. So you see here, I added, using add a resource group, I added this specific group of resources based on a condition. Now I have to go to my application. So for the demo, I use my Canary deployment applications. Let's have a look on environments. So I have my integration environment, and associated to this environment, I have one resource. Let's have a look on the mapping between the component and the resources. So here, this is the component mapping, and I added a resource group. So I added this resource group there, and you can see this is a dynamic type, and you can see that currently I have only one server, one resource, IIS server 2, because this is the only resource having the parameter equals to active. So that's it for the configuration of resources. Let's go back to the application. Let's have a quick look on the component. So my component is a web component. And here the plan is to just download the file on the target folders. And as I have two resources, and to know what is the target location, here in the property window, I added for the working directory the variable path we have created for the resource IIS server 1, IIS server 2, and I use these parameters at the process level. So it means I will use the same deployment process, whatever the target resource, whatever if it's active or inactive, and whatever the name of the target location. So now we are ready to kick off the deployment of the application. So let's start. So I plan to deploy an integration. I will use the deploy process. And we can submit the deployment. So let's have a look here. So we see here there is only one server associated to the current deployment of my application. This is the server IIS server 2. And the plan is to deploy the files on the IIS2 folder. My file is there. And if we have a look on the other resource, this one is still empty. So now I would like to deploy on the other resource. So it's quite easy. So let's go to the resource again. Let's go to the resource IIS server 1 and just change the value for the property. So let's switch to active. Done. About the server 2, we can deploy again on this server 2. So if we do it, we have to keep the active value, or you can just remove the deployment on these target servers, so just changing here the value and switching to inactive. So just playing with the value for this parameter, you are able to define what are the target servers. And if you now go back to your application, just have a look on the resources, and now you see this is IIS server 1. So you don't need to update the configuration. So you just have to play with the value of the parameter for each resources. And now you are ready to kick off again, and the application will be deployed on another resource sharing the same agent. So now let's see here. Now we are deploying again server 1. And for sure, if you set active for both resources, it will be deployed in parallel on each server. So now let's check the results. So here we have now the result is for the IIS1 resource. So that's it for this short demo. Thank you for watching.